Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to another video. In this one, we will discuss the Burning Crusade Classic confirmation in Blizzcon leak. I'm just doing one take and no cuts, so Uncut gang, reunite and be strong. Just being silly, but without further ado, let's get right into it. So, yesterday, I know I'm late to the party, but I'm bringing some snacks and some booze, so you can't close the door on me just yet. But we had the confirmation that at BlizzCon, World of Warcraft Burning Crusade Classic is going to be announced, so we will rediscover the broken world of the Outlands, join the fight as the Blood Elf or the Draenei, etc. And, most importantly here, we will be able to choose our era. So, prior to Burning Crusade's Classic release, we will have the choice to either advance our character to the Burning Crusade era, or continue playing the original WoW Classic content on the new Classic era servers. So, you can see that servers has an S, so that's interesting, but what this post tells us and doesn't tell us is also very important. Therefore, we will discuss those Classic era servers and also the missing release date. So let's start with the release date. I would say expect a release date around May. Most of the people that have been talking about those leaks and when to expect TBC have been talking about around May, April to June. So May is kind of a sweet spot, and I think it's a nice date because anything before that would be too soon in my honest opinion, and anything after that would be way too late. I think most people are happy with their progression in Nax and they are ready to move on to the next thing. Maybe even some players are feeling burned out, and I think waiting too long for TBC would not be good. So hopefully we get something in May that would be good for me, and I think good for many different people out there, many of the players of the community. We also know Blizzard's tendency to release games and things late in the summer. For example, Classic WoW, we were talking about a Classic Summer, but it released at the end of August, and I think back in the days, Legion also released in August, so it could be up to August, but hopefully it's much sooner than that, because I think a lot of people will just be very sad with this. So the most probable date would be around May and June. Just want to make sure I don't miss anything. Okay, now let's talk about the Classic servers. So I have this photo here. This is taken from Discord. I don't even know where it came from. It says BlizzCon, but it could be Photoshop, but let's just talk about it. I think it has a nice visual. So we've had our Classic experience, now we are moving on to Classic TBC. But what happens to those Classic era servers? Do we keep those servers as they are right now, capped at phase 6 with content that we will not see new content? So we basically do Battleground, we farm Lotuses, and then we just trash farm Nax into Oblivion and we clear it in 50 minutes. I don't know, I don't think that would be the best choice. With the Hydro project, we've seen a lot of players very interested in a fresh server, so I hope that Blizzard took some notes and that they will release a fresh server eventually with the new TBC servers. Should they be released at the same time or not, that's another topic, but I think that making it kind of a season in Diablo 3 or PoE, when you go through the content and then when you go from phase 1 to phase 6 a couple months after, just to give players time to re-clear Nax, then we go into another season, so in another fresh. I think that would be plausible. I don't know exactly how they will work, because if you go through it once and then in another season they release a fresh, what happens to your old character? And then when they release, for example, Wrath of Lich King, which is extremely plausible as well, we'll come back to this in just a few moments, they release another TBC and then another Classic WoW. What happens to the old TBC and the old or server group B for Classic and then server group A for TBC? What happens eventually? You will have many different servers up all at once, so we're not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure, I should say, what's going to happen with that, but we'll have to see. With the release of Classic TBC, it's basically guaranteed that in my opinion, that we will get Classic Wrath of Lich King, because if it was just Classic WoW, it would be fine. You just release the first version of WoW and that's it. But if you take a step into the first expansion, you kind of have to go with Wrath of the Lich King, because that's what I call the Holy Trinity right there. It's extremely plausible that they will release it, and I really want to replay Wrath of the Lich King on a official server. But then the question is, when do you stop? Do you keep going into Cataclysm as we see here, and then at the right here you can see like a dark green, so that's Mist of Pandaria with a server group B for Cataclysm, so they all go in diagonal. But when do you stop? Because in 10-15 years from now, when we will be Murlocs fighting underground in Azeroth, for example, do we still have the possibility to play the classic Shadowlands? Or do you stop with the Holy Trinity? It's kind of a Pandora's box that Blizzard has opened, in my opinion, so we'll have to see what happens with that, but I am definitely going to be enjoying it. And the big problem with releasing all the expansion again is that you will have two timelines side by side, and what do you do with it? Eventually, do you re-release everything again a third time to make... It's just a really weird situation. I don't really see in the future, and I don't know what's Blizzard plans moving forward, but I'm definitely hyped for Burning Crusade, and we will focus on that for now, and we will see the rest later. Yes, before we go, I also want to talk about 70 upgrades. It has released a few days ago, so if you've been living under a rock, that's fine, you didn't miss too much. But basically, it's a Wowhead dressing room on steroids, basically. It's very nice, and it allows you to basically customize your character with the gear that you want, and then you have a 3D render of what you will look like. So as you can see here, my paladin looks absolutely amazing. You can see your character coming to life right in front of your eyes, and it builds up the hype even more. So if you want to go, you don't even need to sign in or register, you just go to characters. I created my Bhelock, you boom, you come here, you create your character, Horde Alliance, whatever the class, you customize it, you give it a name, you randomize it, or you create exactly the way you want your character to look, then you go with create. And once you are done, you will be prompted with, hold up, let's go with 420. Laze it, you delete it, you only have 5. Probably you have more if you sign in or register, and then you type in Bhelock 420. You choose the talent specialization, the phase again. So that's already a very good a hint. That's the word I'm looking for. A very good hint that it's more than likely going to be 5 phase again. So I don't know, phase 5 Sunwhale in a preset. Let's say protection avoidance. What do I need for that? And then you need to create. If you don't put an equivalency point, you won't be able to create it. You just create it real quick. You can autofill based on the BIS in phase 5 for Pro Paladin for avoidance, or you can select it yourself. Let's say you just want to see, okay, Hardcorium and blah blah blah, and then you can start building your character. What I mean by the Wowhead dressing room on steroids is that first of all, it shows you all of your stats. Primary attributes, spell, melee, range, blah 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 blah. It also allows you to build your talent, because for example, if you go 5 out of 5 into deflection here, it will add 5% parry chance here on the sheet, so it's very very nice. And afterward, it also shows you what you need crafted for the gear that you have selected, what's the source, the materials, the approximate cost if it has it in the database, and then in the raids, I'll just show you something. For example, Bhelock tier 4, crafting, reputation for the tabard, the PvP item, what you need, and then for dungeons, heroic dungeons, if it's regular, it's going to show you that as well, and then it's going to show you for your raids, so you will know exactly when and where you can get all of those pieces, and you can look that badass. You can also go full screen if you're a content creator. This feature here is very nice. You also have all of the different emotes and all of the different things that your character can do. And let's say, for example, you want to run, you can just record the screen and then put this into After Effects and do some very nice things. You can even pause it and just take this image into Photoshop and then make some very nice thumbnails. So very nice for content creators and just for just to see what your character will look. So like I said, your character comes to life right in front of your eyes with this site. So 70 upgrades, check it out. You haven't been missing a lot of it because it's been out for only a few days, so check it out. Last but not least, guys, the Blizzcon schedule. It is today, starting at 5 p.m. EST, so quite late for us on the... oh no, EST, never mind. I was thinking PST. Okay, it's not even 8. Oh, nice. I'm telling you, uncut, so you have all the real stuff here. Is it going to be during the opening ceremony? Since it was already leaked, probably not. They will probably give some love to the Diablo fans out there with probably like a trailer or a teaser for Diablo 4, especially after the "do you guys not have phones?" Therefore, I think it's important to give them some love. So if it's not during the opening ceremony, it's going to be right after in World of Warcraft. What's next? Don't have a lot of information, but it's still the latest content coming to Azeroth, so probably at 6 p.m. EST. And that's basically it for today's video, guys. That's all I have to say. Enjoy BlizzCon for me. I'm going to be busy all of today and tomorrow, so I'm going to be able to probably catch the replays, but it's free this year, so you can check out all of those panels and be excited, not just for World of Warcraft, but for Hearthstone, Diablo, Overwatch, StarCraft, and hopefully they release something. I haven't really checked it out, but hopefully they release something for Heroes of the Storm. It's a very nice game. It's kind of sad that they dropped the ball on it, but I'm still keeping some hope in my heart that they will release maybe a new map or a new hero or something. Even if it's not now, just the announcement of a new hero or something will give me some hope. So we'll close with that picture. I really like it. We'll see what the future brings us, but in the meantime, let's enjoy Classic TBC, guys. I will have some more TBC content coming soon, and like I said, in the meantime, take care of yourself, guys. Have a good one, and most importantly, you already know, stay blessed.